Piece by Piece is a new Lego film. Yeah, I know. About Pharrell Williams. I know, I couldn't believe this existed, honestly. I remember seeing trailers of this and going like, are you kidding me? I mean, here's the thing about Lego films. I mean, they stopped making them. Like, they literally, like, Warner Brothers, who I believe, and I forget who else, and Lego, I guess, pulled the plug on it after their Lego Ninjago film and the Lego Movie 2 did not really work, but they had projects that they were going to do. Because the Lego Movie, I think, is a very well done animated film as far as using this definitely new technique of animation, which Christopher Lord and Phil Miller, the guys that did Into the Spider-Verse, really helped make come to life. And then the Lego Batman film was also very good. And I got the feeling like Lego intended to really just roll these out, like, and it was going to be like the new wave of animation like Pixar was in the mid-90s. But that didn't really happen, and so this film is by Universal, and that kind of surprised me. I kind of went like, oh, I guess, can anyone do a Lego film now? Plus, it's also done by Focus Features, which usually focuses on independent films. And I would have to say that when I saw that they were going to make this film about Pharrell Williams, like an autobiography, I was going like, what about this requires Lego to tell this story? But here's the thing. As I watched it, I was watching how they were using the Lego, and not only did they just, and here's the thing, maybe I think I was limiting what you could do with Lego, because if you've seen enough of these Lego movies, they usually take place in the world of the Lego people, where they can actually build things like from piles of scraps and stuff like that, and the Legos movies usually take place in a very specific idea of how that Lego world really works. And it's revealed in the first movie that it really takes place in a child's imagination. And so oftentimes the films kind of have that sort of feel with them. They have very unrealistic stories and stuff like that, but they still have very realistic, good themes, like the Lego Batman movie is about family. Now, here's what the thing about Piece by Piece. It tells the story of Pharrell Williams, but then it starts out with a strange framing device of him going to an interview, and everything is still done with Lego. And he talks about how Lego is sort of like, we're just given pieces, it's up to us to decide how we want to build the world. And this plays into a major theme in the film, which I think kind of works. But on the whole, I feel like, I don't know, maybe Pharrell Williams just liked Lego and he just wanted to be like, hey, can this be a Lego movie? And they're like, sure. And then they had to like scramble to make this into a Lego movie. Either way, it works as far as like what they're trying to do, and I like how the film is directed. I like how the Legos can not only help tell the story, but how they do transitions and how they do all kinds of things, which really kind of draws me in. I actually kind of thought like, okay, this is actually a really interesting film now. It feels like it really is a documentary film. I mean, it is. It just, let's just put it this way. To even market this film for kids, I think would be a big mistake. I actually think they might be kind of bored watching this. However, all the bright and cheery colors, which this film has in spades, might help draw them in. And hey, Pharrell Williams is pretty popular with the young people, right? I actually have no idea. I don't really know that much about Pharrell Williams. In fact, all I really know about him is that he did that song Blurred Lines, I think, or he helped out with that song. And honestly, I think Robin Thicke has been kind of, I wouldn't say canceled, but definitely not as popular as he was when he did that Blurred Lines song. I would think Pharrell Williams would want to distance himself from the fact that he was even involved in that project. But Pharrell Williams instead did that song Happy, and that was pretty much a big hit, and I'm sure he'll have a lot of hits. I definitely like how the film shows that the character starts out pretty much in the projects and continues to and discovers a love for music and just keeps doing his love for it and keeps developing his talent and becomes one of the most talented musicians. Is this a film that is sort of over-promoting Pharrell Williams? I would have to say yes. I think there are certain things about this film that I don't know much about Pharrell Williams, but I can tell you that, I felt like there's a lot of things they're glossing over here, isn't there? I notice they get to a point in the film where his career goes down, and he acknowledges that his career was at a low. And I think it's good that the film does acknowledge that this indeed happened, but I'm not really certain how... I think it's good because every musician will have this point in their career where it just goes downhill, and sometimes it stays downhill. That's just how life works. I mean, Pharrell Williams is at a point where he is actually probably pretty good. I don't know if he's at a chart topper. I have no idea. I don't really follow modern music. But I will have to say that eventually, his career will go down at some point in time. I think he is pretty much among the music legends that are still alive today. Like some of the others that were in this film, like Missy Elliott, Snoop Dogg, and Justin Timberlake, who provide their voices for this thing. And I'm assuming it's them. I don't know. Because we only see them in Lego. They could have actually got stand-ins for them. Who knows? This is kind of one of those films that I'm kind of was surprised that not only was made, but because I have actually heard... Now, I actually saw a TikTok video on this, but apparently that Universal already has a Pharrell Williams live-action movie biography about his life. And I kept going like, well, why does this film exist then, if you have like a live-action version of it? And I'm told that they don't intend to release this film. Like, they invested $20 million in this film, and they don't intend to release it. And I'm told that the reason why wasn't done because of, say, a decision that Warner Brothers did about, say, Batgirl or Coyote versus Acme, that they just wrote off the film even though it's completely done as a tax write-off. But apparently the creators of this film essentially looked at it and they said, like, no, we don't like it. And I'm kind of going like, I've never heard that ever happen in the history of ever. And I don't even know how to even process that. And I'm getting the feeling that maybe Universal doesn't know how to process that. These are things I've just heard about. I have no idea if they're absolutely true. And this is supposed to be a 10-minute rant about Piece by Piece. And so I will have to say that, yes, I believe Piece by Piece is a good movie and it's a really good watch. It is definitely not meant to be for a kids movie. It's definitely meant to be for the kids that probably grew up remembering those old Lego movies. And I have to admit, the graphics of the Piece by Piece were pretty good. They actually kind of, I think I remember seeing the trailer and going like, I don't really feel like the graphics of this look as good as, say, in the Lego movie. Because the Lego movie definitely pioneered that type of animation where it almost looks stop motion. Because, after I saw the Lego movie, somebody actually had to tell me that it was all done, it was mostly done through CG. And someone had to tell me that. The fact that someone had to tell me that shows how good the animation is. That it really looked all that good. Because I actually thought what I was watching was stop motion Lego performances. But it was actually like, oh no, we just used computer animation to make these things appear to move. We skipped a few frames so it actually has that look to it. And we even put in things like scratches and other things that is seen in most Lego pieces. And I'm going like, wow, they actually did that. They actually had that much attention to detail. That's pretty amazing, really. And Piece by Piece has a lot of attention to detail. Most of the shots are only a few seconds long, which hopefully the animation department didn't have to work too much on it, because if you know anything about animation, it is a whole lot of freaking work. And even if you're doing hand-drawn to computer animation does shorten that. It does help to do that because you can just, instead of actually redrawing a character, you have this character that exists in 3D and you can just move him around as you see fit, like a marionette puppet. And with Piece by Piece, I can tell like there was a lot of scenes put in there. The way they do certain transition shots and how they really illustrate the points that Pharrell Williams is trying to make is very, very good. And I had to admit, like, wow, you couldn't really do this in your any other type of documentary. You couldn't do this, which is why I really appreciated what Piece by Piece is trying to do. That being said, should every film look like this? And no, I will have to say, I don't want to see another documentary about another person done with Legos like this. Please do not make another one of these. Please don't. I'm assuming this film was not a hit, but if it had been, I hope you wouldn't have done like one about, say, I don't know, Snoop Dogg or something like that. That's just I don't know, just randomly saying somebody popular there, or a popular actor. Please don't do that, okay? I feel like this is a one and done project. Please don't try and make a sequel to it or something like that. As it is, the film stands really well as a whole, and I believe you should see it. Anyway, Mark Rollins and the Geek Church, signing off.